This episode was recorded in August 2024. Welcome back to another episode of the Motivational Mic, the show where we amplify real stories of resilience, courage, and the power of turning pain into purpose. Today's guests are no strangers to overcoming unimaginable challenges and finding purpose in the pain. The Mastaler family, a lively crew of 5, have turned their story of tragedy into a message of strength and joy. This journey into the spotlight was never something they sought, but what they've done with it is nothing short of inspiring. In 2015, the world changed in an instant when Hunter, age 4, was attacked by his father's police dog. The bite was so severe that Hunter's left leg had to be amputated below the knee. Overnight, their private lives became public, with their faces and stories shared around the world, all while they were simply trying to heal. But this family refused to let tragedy define them. Through love, resilience, and faith, they've transformed their pain into purpose. Today, they are passionate disability advocates, authors, and community builders, using their platform to raise awareness, inspire others, and spark conversations that matter. Instagram has become their bridge to the world, a place where they offer an authentic glimpse into their lives, spread joy and education, show that there is life, laughter, and beauty beyond the hardest moments. Their story isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving, adapting, and helping others do the same. Please join me in welcoming Hunter and Rosalie Mastaler to the show. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Motivational Mic. Today we have Hunter and Rosalie. How are you guys doing today?
We're great. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm glad that that I can have you guys on. I'm glad that we're finally able to do this.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So before we get started, Hunter, would you want to tell everyone that's listening and watching a little bit about yourself?
I am Hunter and I am 14 years old and I play a lot of wheelchair basketball. And I'm also a co-author with my mom.
Awesome. So, Hunter, you have a prosthetic leg. Could you share some memories from the day in 2015 of how you lost your leg and how you've coped with the changes ever since?
It was hard. I remember it being hard. I can't remember like every detail, but I just remember like not wanting to wear it because like it's just new because like there was a leg there, but there's not a leg there anymore. So I had to figure out how to use the prosthetic.
How exactly did you lose your leg? For everyone listening.
I lost my leg well, I didn't lose it, but I didn't lose it to the dog attack, but I got really injured from a dog, and I had to have my leg amputated at the hospital.
Wow. That's that must have been pretty scary. Do you
Yeah.
remember a little bit of how you were feeling during that time?
Not really. I was just confused because I didn't know what was happening because I was just so young. So
And from a parent perspective, Rosalie, how were you feeling? Obviously, it must have been pretty challenging.
Yeah, I mean, from the initial moment of knowing that his life was in danger, and I wasn't at home when it happened. So my husband was the one that was home. But when I got the phone call from him and then finally like figured out that, okay, this is really serious. They were life flighting him to the nearest children's hospital. That's when it was just very scary. It was very scary because I didn't know as a parent how serious it was. I just knew it was serious enough for them to bring in a helicopter, which
Wow.
obviously is very serious. And then once we got to the hospital, it was like I was like, just get him into surgery. And I felt like just get him into surgery, fix his bone. We're gonna be fine. Like he's gonna have a cast. He's gonna crutch out of here like tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then to find out how just how damaged his leg was there's no words. There's honestly no words. It was very it was just absolutely devastating because all of a sudden it went from thinking there's going to be a simple fix to this to you might be leaving this hospital with your son missing part of his body.
Did they decide to amputate the leg mid-surgery?
No. So they were able to piece it together, which with a lot of rods and like that contraption on the leg just to keep it together. But the big thing that didn't work out was that there was so much damage to the veins that they were not able to get the blood flow back past where the dog bite had happened. And then after about 2.5 days, his leg started to turn black and blue. And that's when we knew for sure there's no option here but to amputate.
Ugh. How were you feeling during that time, Hunter, knowing that you were gonna be missing your leg?
I don't really remember.
They had him pretty sedated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was only a little over 4.5. So I would say from the moment like the dog attack happened to maybe, do you even remember getting home from the hospital?
Yes.
You have some memories of that.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
it was at our house. Is our
Yeah.
grandmother. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your memories of like when we got home and all of a sudden you were home and then you didn't have a leg anymore?
I didn't I didn't really understand what was happening.
Well, I want to say that I know obviously it's not fortunate at all that this happened to you, but I think it's better that it happened to you as a kid so that you don't really get traumatized from it. I mean, I also went through cancer as a kid, so I think that's something that we can relate going through struggles in our childhood. I don't really remember a ton of it. I was only 11, but just, I mean, our brains aren't fully developed, so we are able to, kind of like not truly understand it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, during the initial recovery period, how did your friends, family, and community help support you guys?
Well, our family just they just took care of me the whole time and just took care of me, making sure that I was okay. And I can't remember all of it, but I remember going to camps for people with disabilities. So I think that opened me up to the disabled community.
What camps did you attend?
I went to a camp called Camp No Limits, and the camp I went was in Big Bear, California.
Okay. So I've actually heard a little bit about Camp No Limits. I haven't attended any of their camps, but it's good though because you get to meet people just like you, and even if they don't have a prosthetic leg and
Yeah.
missing a body part, I mean everyone's going through struggles, especially as kids too. So
That's where I saw a lot of turnaround for him was when we went to camp for the first time and then just exposing him more to the amputee community and just the disabled community in general. It was great for him and it was great for us as parents because we were able to see these people living very happy, fulfilling lives with multiple disabilities. And that really encouraged us as parents, knowing that he was going to live a great life. And one thing that I actually haven't thought about in a long time, because you asked him like how his friends handled it, I felt like his good friends, like they didn't miss a beat with him. It was like Hunter lost his leg. That was traumatic. Like we were sad for him. I mean, they knew he was in the hospital, but they didn't treat him any different. And that was just so neat to see. And I remember one of his good friends actually drew a picture of them. And she drew the picture of him like without his leg. And I had seen that for the first time, but it was just like, well, this is how his body is now, and this is how I'm going to draw it. And it was no big deal. And that was really neat to see because, he was still Hunter. His body just looks a little different.
just because you're missing a part of your body doesn't mean that you're a different person. You're still Hunter, you're still you. You still like to do the things that you do. It's just you look a little bit different now. But that doesn't mean anything.
Mm,
That's how I like to view it at least. So
yeah.
glad that your friends and your family could see that. So how did your family cope with the intense media attention that you guys, obviously it was a big deal in the area.
Yes. Yeah. And not only in the area, I mean, we had people outside of our state. And you could even find articles from like the UK, like back during that time. And Um, we kept Hunter. Hunter wasn't like in the know of the media attention that we were getting. He was so young. Like I feel like he just didn't need to know that. Um, and it wasn't until like maybe a year or two later that Hunter like Googled his name and was like, what are all these articles? And I'm like, yeah, this is what happened. It was not a pleasant experience, to be perfectly frank. It was very eye-opening to I I would say the best way to explain it is like after that happened, after his accident and after being in the media and having that attention on us, whenever stuff would happen after that, you probably don't remember this incident. Maybe you've heard about it about um, I'll just bring up this past event, the Harambe incident with the gorilla and the kid who fell into that gorilla encounter. And all you heard was, where were the parents? The parents are to blame. It was like so much negativity of like, it was the parents' fault. It was this, and this. And that's what happened to us. When Hunter had his accident, it was very much like, where were his parents? They're negligent parents. This is abusive. The dad should go to jail. All these negative things. And my husband took that really hard. And I think partly because he was the one on Hunter's watch. It was his dog, it was his career. But I also knew, like, I know who I am as a parent. I know who I am as a person. I know I love Hunter and that I am not negligent. And so, luckily, it didn't affect me that much, but it sucked, to be perfectly honest, to all of a sudden have our names in the paper and from complete strangers. And I think that's why we turned it around. We're like, why don't we write our own narrative, our own story that comes from us and our hearts and what we want to put out there? And that's what really encouraged and motivated us to start writing.
Wow. I really never thought about that before. That's how you guys started writing. That's really it's really cool. So, Hunter, what are some of the hobbies that you like to do for fun?
I normally like sometimes I do a lot of art, but I like watching series. I just love stories in general. Like I love getting into stories, but also I like to play a lot of wheelchair basketball.
Okay, cool. So, are you in a league for wheelchair basketball? Like,
I'm on a team that's here. Well, the practice is like 40 minutes away, but yeah, we have a team here.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
so his local team is part of the National Wheelchair Basketball Association, and so they they're able to compete against the conference, which is local, and then outside of the state, so that way they can gain ranking, like national rankings.
Okay, that's cool. What's the most amount of points you've ever scored in a game? Just wondering.
I don't
I don't think
know.
he knows that. Yeah, we'd have to look back at stats. Yeah.
Too many to tell.
But one question, where did your team rank last season?
I don't know. I can't remember. Nah, I'm kidding. We got first place
First
in that.
place.
In the whole
Yeah.
country. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. In the whole country.
Whole country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't lose a single game.
They
Wow.
were, I think they're 30 and 0. They
Yeah.
played 30 games and they were undefeated the whole season, went to nationals, the National Wheelchair Basketball Nationals in Virginia, and they took the whole thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I know a few wheelchair basketball organizations in this area. You're probably so much better than them. Your team. Probably the MVP of your team.
No, a good asset to the team. Yes. But you're in what, where are you at? Where are you located?
Right outside of Philadelphia.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, I thought you were like close to New York, but yeah, New York has a team
Yeah.
and man, they were good. They almost,
We're close
that
to
That was intense.
that was almost their Achilles heel. Like if they lost to New York, they wouldn't have been able to progress like they did, but they have a really good team.
So how
Yeah.
did it work? Were there like different, I guess, like there were exhibition games and then the playoffs, or how did that work? Because you guys took home first place, so
Mhm.
like how were the playoffs structured?
So the top 16 teams of the country are invited to nationals. And so basically you're out of those two pools. And then, first place played 16th place, seventh place played 15th place. So we were in second place. So we played 15. And then from there, I think you guys played what, 4 games until the final game? 2 games and then 2 games. Or was it 3? It was 2 or 3. But basically that's how the tournament worked is the top 16 teams were there and they played till that first place. Similar to like any of those other really big tournaments.
Like March Madness, for example.
I think so, yes.
Oh, it's exactly like March Madness.
Okay.
Well,
We don't call it March Madness.
well, I think it's very cool that you do wheelchair basketball.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's very cool just in general that you were able to overcome this amputation and this tragic event that you had to go through in your life and find things that you like to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important.
Yeah.
You know that. So, what are some of the hardest things that you've had to overcome going through your amputation?
It's just trying to figure out how to use this prosthetic because it's a metal rod, like it's just a giant metal thing on the bottom of the leg. Like this hurts. I don't want to wear it, but I figured out how to. Over the years, I'm able to walk with it normally, but right now I'm having issues with it. But yeah, is I got adapted to it. Yeah.
You want
What
to hear?
would you say recently, though, are your biggest challenges?
Just not being able to wear it, but it's not. I don't want to wear it. It's just nerves and just pain in my leg that prevents me to wear it.
You want to hear something? I'm
Yeah.
also having issues with my leg right now.
Hmm.
For about 7 months, I haven't been able to wear it.
Oh man.
So,
How come?
it's
Why?
yeah, it's too small right now. I've grown a lot over the years, so
Hmm.
right now in the process of getting it fixed. I'm getting recasted for a
Hmm.
while. So yeah. So you're below the knee amputation, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm above the knee.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would say way different. Yeah.
Mhm.
how long have you been off the leg for or in pain?
It's been, well, we have the pain like daily, but it's been on and off. Like there'll be days where I can wear it, but there'll be days like it just hurts too much. I'm not gonna put it
Yeah.
on.
It's been since April that he stopped wearing it. And then before that, though, he had 2 separate surgeries. He had 2 surgeries within a few months of each other. And so it was recovery from that. And then it's still not. And he's been dealing with that since like the end of 2022. So right now he has a neuroma. So he has some nerve issues in there that need to get fixed. And so we're kind of figuring out how to deal with that
Is that relating to the attack?
because it's
That
a trauma amputation. Yeah.
you mentioned that the nerves were too hard to reconnect to the blood flow.
Hmm. Hmm.
Gotcha. Well, you're doing a great job persevering through that. I hope you know that.
Thank you.
And if you ever need to talk to
Yeah.
me. I understand where you're coming from. I truly do. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, of course. So you guys started the Instagram page. What are some of the things that got you starting that Instagram page, and how have you grown it so much over the years?
Well, my mom started it first, and then she was like, "We should make videos about, well, not about like just fun videos. Like the first video is like, walking on Legos with a prosthetic, like funny videos, but also entertaining people about the disabled community."
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was talking about, how taking control of our own narrative and feeling like, okay, if we're going to put our story out there, I want it to be from us. I don't want it to be from some reporter. I don't want people to Google our name and it be this article just about the accident because I felt like we're so much more than just that traumatic experience.
absolutely. Yeah.
And so that's that's part of the reason why I did it. And once we started kind of getting that engagement of people being like, oh, this is really funny. And I'm like, people should, as you know, and I don't know this personally, and so I'm speaking adjacent to someone who has a disability, but watching him grow and watching people and kids sometimes stare at him and say things and be feel like he was almost like an alien, like he was like this foreign being because he had this disability. I felt like having an Instagram and a social media and a platform and putting it out there more made it more normal. Like, yeah, he can joke about walking on Legos and we think it's funny. You know, he's not living this life of, oh no, like I have this prosthetic leg. And so that's what encouraged us. And um it's been up and down growing it, and it's been kind of a like a good and also a weird experience. Like, because like on social media, you're in a fishbowl, and I feel like people also have expectations too sometimes of like, oh, like, are you posting all the time? Like all these things. So we're just trying to just kind of live our lives now. We've turned our attention more to putting books out there and connecting with people in that regard, as opposed to just a social media platform.
What are some of the books that you guys, what are some of the books that you guys write? What are they about?
We have three books right now, and we have one in progress. So the first book, well, my mom wrote the first book, called Hunter's Tall Tales. It's not a real story, but events that happen is like events like that does happen to me. Like if, kids asking like what happened to my leg. So it's a good book for children. And the second book is about how many people?
32,
30
30, 30, 30, not 32.
30 to 30 people with disabilities, and it's just about just amazing people. Like their stories are in there so people can read about them, like stories that really never got out there. So I think that this book can really show more of the disabled community. And our third book is about the Paralympics, called Let the Games Begin. So it's how many? 12? Is 12
12 or 13 sports in there. Mhm.
Yeah, 12 sports in there, and it's a perfect book for right now because the Paralympics are happening right now.
Yeah.
So like, why not have this book out right now so people can read about the Paralympics? Like, oh, the Paralympics is pretty cool. I should go watch it.
Yeah.
And the book right now is the second volume to Represent, which is volume two, which is the same thing but with different people.
Yeah, so Represent is biographies
Yeah.
of famous people who have disabilities, and some not so famous people. Like, a lot of people know about Hunter Woodhall, like he has a huge following, but then not a lot of people know about like just some other people in our book that just haven't gotten like the claim to fame type thing. Not claim to fame, but just haven't become as famous. So we love researching people who have disabilities and being able to tell their stories.
If I can remember correctly, the books that you guys write are children's books.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Yeah, they'll range from about 4 to 12 years old. So Represent is for an older audience, and then the other two are for a younger audience.
What made you guys go in the direction of children's books instead of, books for adults, and how they can relate to Hunter in some
I
ways?
think that because I had problems with kids staring at my leg, and I think that making books about someone with a disability, kids with a disability and without a disability can look up to, like, oh, it's normal. He just like he's missing a leg, but he's just a person. Like he's still a good person, not like this weird thing. So I think it would change the perspective of like change the perspective that people have on people with disabilities.
And children's books are like the best of both worlds because if the kids are often read to. And so you have the adult reading the book and the child reading the book, and then conversations can happen. And that is what is important, like having these conversations at home about different people with disabilities. And, it's even though it's for the child, that parent is that mediator between us and that child. And in the back of our first book, I even wrote out like a note to the parent. Like if your child is asking about disabilities, or if your child sees someone with a disability while you're in public, like here are some tips that you can do for them. So,
I never really thought of that before. How the parent has to, how it turns into them having the conversation with the kid.
mhm.
That's really interesting to me because you get the best of both worlds, like you were saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go a little bit more into the educational route. So, what is your education looking like right now?
For school,
Yeah.
what are you doing right now for school? So how are you liking homeschooled, and what does that look like for you right now? And why did you choose to be homeschooled, and what are your plans?
We're still trying to figure it out. Like right now, we're sticking to homeschool because the school, if you heard, is just it's not going to be very fun. It's not going to be very pleasant there. So we're still trying to figure it out. But this is my second year doing homeschool, and I like it so far. I think I'm able to get work and assignments done. So yeah.
So, being homeschooled, so did anything occur at your school that, just made you want to be homeschooled?
I think just I've heard people say that middle school anyone will pick on you for any reason. So I just got picked on like I don't really like this. And we moved too, so and we couldn't go to that school anymore and the school here just a lot of problems there that I just don't want to interfere with.
He also had surgery right before, so he went to school in sixth grade. And then right before he was about to start seventh grade, he had surgery. And so he was going to be off his leg for quite some time. And it was like, do you want to go to school on crutches or in a wheelchair and have to carry around a backpack and all those things? And it was like, for him, he was more comfortable to, like, physically more comfortable to be at home. And so that's why we set up homeschooling, and he just decided to stick with it, even though, but now we're back at the same situation where he needs another surgery. And so that's been kind of hard to deal with, is, he can't just put on his prosthetic leg and go. And it seems like you're going to be dealing with that too, right? Like, how are you going to manage that?
I have crutches
Yeah.
that I use, so I find ways around it, but not
Mhm.
everyone can, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, what's the surgery coming up that you guys have to face?
We don't know. We don't know yet.
Well, we
Yeah,
we
I was wondering, surgery?
no, no, we don't have like a surgery scheduled, but the
Oh,
neuroma in his leg needs to be fixed. And
okay.
so, right, and you know that. So this is not a surprise to him. We just have nothing
You
scheduled
said
yet.
he's gonna have another surgery.
Yes, well, you do need another surgery. We just don't know when or exactly what it's going to be, but the neuroma in his leg needs to be fixed, and that can only be fixed with a surgery. And we just don't know when that's going to happen yet.
So that's some of the issue that you're having with your leg right now, not being able to put on the prosthetic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope that surgery goes well for you.
Thank you.
So, more questions about being homeschooled. What grade? You're currently in eighth grade, right?
Yes.
So next year, are you going to continue with the homeschool? As I don't want to push anything because the school year just started, and I know not
Yeah,
everyone's school, but high school. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. So, what are you guys going to do about that?
we don't know. We're kind of pushing towards homeschool, but it depends because I'm still off my leg and we don't know how long this is gonna last. So
Gotcha.
yeah, we don't know anything about that yet. So
Well, being homeschooled, we have more flexibility for him to like go practice basketball during the day, which
yeah,
he enjoys doing, and also more of a flexibility to get a little bit ahead. Like if he wants to graduate school early or even take college classes, that's a lot of the stuff we've been entertaining. So
Gotcha.
it's and like I know my other kids, like they would love to do school sports. And so that's one thing they love to go to school for. But like the sports that he participates in aren't at any school. So it makes a difference.
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm.
So, you pick your own hours for school, or how does that work?
It's basically a schedule, and there will be breaks during the day. So
He's doing an online homeschooling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 Makes more sense. I
Mhm.
thought you were teaching.
No, I'm not teaching, and it's a great program because it's like official high school credits, like so he can get ahead if he wants to. But I felt like it worked better for him to have like that
Yeah,
set schedule, and he has multiple teachers online too. So it
that's
works out. Yeah.
so. You ever get to meet them in person or?
Um, for like tests, like really big tests, we'll go into person with whoever's like the teacher or classmates are in the area. We'll just meet up and take
For
the
state
test.
testing.
State testing, yeah.
Mhm.
Have you met any kids in your classes that
Yeah.
you're friends with?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was funny, like, yeah, I know you're in class. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool that you brought that up. You're just seeing each other on the computer, and then you go and take these tests, and you're seeing them in person. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And it's also good to know that there's a reason that these other kids are also doing that. They're also being homeschooled, so you guys can relate in a sense.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
What are your goals and stuff like with adaptive sports? And that's one thing that I feel like is a little more unique with Hunter's life is that we spent a lot of time traveling for adaptive sports. So if you want to tell him about that, that's kind of
Um,
interesting.
we travel a lot for adaptive sporting events like Endeavor Games, Texas Regional, and Angel City Games, where it's basically sporting events where it's like different sports. Like last year I did Endeavor Games that took place in Oklahoma. So there's wheelchair basketball and volleyball there. So I did, well, not volleyball, sitting volleyball. So I did those two sports.
Cool.
And for wheelchair basketball wise, I'm trying to get into a college called Alabama University because I went to camp and I stayed there for like a week. I stayed in the dorms, so we worked 9 hours every day. I got home and my arms were about to fall off. So
Wow. Well, that's great. Honestly, that as I mentioned before, the wheelchair basketball and wheelchair volleyball, or is that what it's called?
Sitting volleyball.
sitting volleyball,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm
he's actually going to start training with the national, like the team with the Team USA, the national team.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to start his first training camp in November.
Volleyball.
So yes,
So, what are your goals for that? As your mom mentioned, do you want to eventually be on Team USA and compete in the Paralympics?
For sitting volleyball or
Well, for both.
I've I'm trying. It would be really cool, awesome if I can get into Team USA for wheelchair basketball. Studying volleyball, I don't know because I don't have that much experience.
still new. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's new to you, or it's,
Yeah. And yeah.
yeah,
yeah. Well, there's always areas to improve, and there's always more things to get involved in. I think that's
yeah,
pretty
Mhm.
good to know. If you're sitting at home and you're currently going through something that you're struggling with, there's support groups, there's areas to get involved in this. And in Hunter's case, sitting volleyball, wheelchair basketball. For me, I like golf. So I think it's important. There's always something for everyone. This world it's a big world and a small world at sometimes, but
Yes. Yeah. One to add on to what you're saying, there's so much power in community. It's not just a sport, it's not just going to camp. It offers a community, it offers that relation, and that's really what can help people
there's
and bring
sorry.
a lot of happiness. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a reason that there's 8 billion people in this world. There's someone
Mhm.
for everyone, and there's
Yeah.
groups for everyone. There's people to be friends with. That's
Yeah.
very important as well. Is there anything else that you guys would want to share before we wrap up? I think it's been a great interview, and I just want to thank you guys for hopping on.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. We're so excited for you to start this, and we're definitely honored that we get to be one of your first guests. And so, thank you for having us. And I would say one of my mottos in life that I've learned just from everything we've experienced with Hunter is there's always room for joy. Going through so much just trauma and heartbreak with the initial accident with Hunter and just the long recovery, and then even now surgeries and everything, it's helped me to know that life can be hard and we can have challenges, but we don't need to let it be 100% and be all consuming, that there's always room for joy, even through the hard times. And to know that heartache and those trials can still coexist with being happy and joy. So
that's how you have to get through. Everything happens for a reason, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, you know, you have to persevere through the tough times. I think that's what makes you you.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have started writing these books with your mom if your incident had never happened. I would have never even come in contact with you if I never got cancer. So I think it's important. Everything happens for a reason, and we all go through things that make us us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining me on this episode of the Motivational Mic. It has been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been great to talk to you guys. Hunter, have a good one. Good luck in school this year.
Thank you. You too.
It's been really great to talk to you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Life has a way of taking us through storms that we never asked for. Moments that feel too heavy to carry, and chapters we wish we could skip. But often, those are the exact places where strength is born. Your story, no matter how hard or messy it may feel, can become a bridge for someone else. A bridge from pain to healing, from doubt to hope, from silence to courage. When you choose to share what you've walked through, you remind others they're not walking alone. Don't be afraid to be seen. In your scars, in your strength, and in your truth. Because sometimes, what feels like your breaking point is actually the foundation for someone else's breakthrough. This episode was recorded in August of 2024.